Hey, welcome all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab in the wee hours of the morning. Well, I do what I do for you. Got a nice lesson for you today. Let's get it started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in to receive them. I appreciate you. Hope you're learning from the lessons. Hope you're doing you some good. That's the purpose. We got a good thing going. Let's continue. Right thinking's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life, through a mental and spiritual discipline daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission to get all right thinkers to do just that. Know thyself, and I'm giving you the tools and information and knowledge that you need to do just that. That's what I do for you. Let's go. Know thyself is the question I ask. It's rhetorical, but you should have the answer. And if you don't, tune into your boy. That's what I do to help you out with just that, to know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Stay tuned. I got you. I appreciate you too. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do for a reason. A person who knows and knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my eye, be true. I try to give a good, concise concept. Right thinkers, let's talk about how to win the holy war. Well, what is the holy war? It's a good question. Glad you asked. I'll answer it as we go along. But today we're going to talk about how to win the holy war. I'm going to give you some tidbits and some lessons on how to make that happen for you. Let's go. The holy war is that inner battle with yourself, your lower nature versus your higher nature. Lower nature, higher nature. Good, bad, light, dark, opposites that's got to come together at a certain point. And the holy war is you are the decision maker because it's your choice. God gave us conscience to do just that. Make the choice. Of course, you're going to have the holy war going on inside you. Fight for what's right and what's wrong. Do you or do the right thing. Okay? We call it good versus evil, light versus dark, right versus wrong, and on and on. Again, opposites coming together to make one whole. You can't have a war without two sides. Good, evil, right, wrong. Concept, duality. But the holy war, watch this, is you knowing what's right from wrong. That's the war. Your decision is to make that decision, which you got to live with. So the consequences of your actions, aka karma, you make a decision that, remember, the consequences got to be what you're willing to accept. If it's good, you get blessed. If it's bad, you get punished. Simple as that. There is nothing else. In winning the holy war, watch this. Now with what? Excuse me. I'm winning my holy war now. Why? Because self, with knowledge of self and living by my spiritual disciplines on a day-to-day basis, changes will happen for you. Simple as that. It don't make a difference what your brother, your sister, mother do. It all depends on you. You got total control. Excuse me. And if you're not being your best self, which is your choice, you're losing the holy war to what? Ignorance of your higher self. We suffer because we're ignorant. We're blessed when we come enlightened and know who we are and live and do the things we do that will earn us the blessings and the righteous virtual lifestyle that you can live and make that possible, whether you know it or not. If you live it, it's going to happen for you anyway. That's the key with that. You can live right, virtuous, and just without knowing you live in Maya, without knowing you live in Shita Netta, without knowing you live in Samatawi. If you just live right, according to the concept, you will be blessed for just that. That's the concept. So anybody is eligible and anybody can do what they have to do for themselves and earn their blessings or earn their karma to make a difference. What is the holy war? Yeah, the ability to make good decisions that you benefit from, and how you win the holy war. Doing the right thing, making good decisions for yourself. The holy war is won, the battle is won by you on a day-to-day basis because, as y'all call him, the devil, he's always busy. The holy war is your lower nature wanting to control, aka your ego self or set, as we know them from the ancient Egyptian concepts. They got all that figured out. Today, we still got people who don't understand that they have ego. Don't know that's part of their character. And that's being ignorant. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Not knowing something means you're ignorant. That dumb is knowing something and doing what's wrong. That's dumb or stupid. Ignorant just means you don't know. So it's nothing wrong with being ignorant. That means you have to learn. That's all. You can get enlightenment. You can combat ignorance with knowledge. Simple. The ability to make good decisions. That's it. Now, if you're addicted to anything that's not good for you, you're losing the holy war because you're submitting to your lower self. You're submitting to something outside yourself that controls you. If something that controls you and ain't good for you, you have to let that go. Excuse me. To constantly do something to yourself, set self-inflicted fetters. That's self-inflicted concepts that if you're ignorant, you will continue to do the same thing, expect a different result. Insanity. But watch this. Being ignorant of your higher self means you are what? Losing the holy war. Simple as that. If you're ignorant and you're living and you're going through the motions, you probably losing. Life ain't fun. Life ain't good. Why? Because you're ignorant of the things that you need to do for yourself for it to be those things. Excuse me. And I got this hair from my eye. But in life, everybody has to make their own decisions. Everybody responsible for what they say, do, think, feel, or bring to the table. Understand that. And if we taught our young people that, they would be better at understanding consequences of their actions. Not just saying, well, I didn't know. I didn't know. That's not an excuse for doing wrong or doing something that's just not right. When you know the right thing to do, here we go, good segue. You don't do your, excuse me, when you know the right thing to do and you don't do it, you're losing the holy war. Again, to know right from wrong and do wrong, you just sold your soul conceptually to the devil. Why? You serving him. Doing the right thing, serving him. Simple. It ain't hard to figure out. It ain't how much college degrees you got. It ain't how far you went in college. No. It's how good you are as an individual on a day-to-day basis. The holy war is what? Set versus Haru, lower versus higher, ego versus higher self. Who you serve is the holy war outcome. When you're serving yourself, you're losing. You're going to lose. It's not going to win. If you raise your consciousness, become enlightened, gain self-knowledge, become spiritually enlightened, and do the right thing on a day-to-day basis, that's how you win the holy war. Losing the battles is okay, but you want to win the war by getting what? Better at being you. Know thyself. Ignorance, watch this, is considered darkness. We are in the dark, what? In the beginning of life. We come out of darkness into the light. Being you coming from ignorance into knowledge. That's the concept. So when you hear ignorance, knowledge, light, dark, that's what they're trying to show you. The comparison is symbolic. Ignorance, aka not knowing, is like being in the dark. You can't see anything. And nothing good happens in the dark. That's why we sleep in the dark. We are spiritual beings, born ignorant into a physical world, but we were given consciousness that we can become better. We can raise ourselves from the beastly nature, the lower nature, the first 3 degrees of masonry, the first 3 levels of the chakra system. All that's still beastly nature, fight, flight, desire, sexual, all that's lower nature. From the 4th degree up, where your heart comes into play, you become a different person. You have empathy, compassion for others. That's why most people on the 3rd level think about nothing but themselves. The fourth level, raising the level of understanding consciousness, it starts with the heart, then the speaking, the throat, and then the third eye. And they don't teach you about the seventh round. Why? Because once your third eye open, the seventh chakra gonna open. Why? Because you're gonna practice the things you need to do, and it's gonna happen on its own, aka becoming Haru. When I get you to that level, you're on your own. Why? Because you know. That's why. And I don't teach that because I want people like, I'm Haru, I'm Haru. No, you're not. No, you're not. See, God gave man what? Consciousness for what? So that he can come out of the darkness into the glorious light. Sound familiar? From ignorance into enlightenment spiritually. God is spirit. You need spiritual knowledge. That means getting knowledge of God. I teach spiritual knowledge. That's what I call it. That's why I'm giving you God knowledge so that you can understand God and entertain him and worship and serve him for yourself on your terms. Spiritual enlightenment is what? Having knowledge of God. Again, spiritual knowledge is God knowledge. I was ignorant of my higher self until I found what? The light, aka knowledge of self. I came into knowledge of myself. You'll be born again, you can be saved, whatever it is. When you masonry, we're gonna kill off the old and raise you up on a new level, a new identity. In Islam, you change the attribute, all these things, meaning you're changing the old person into a new person symbolically, but you do it mentally and spiritually. That's the difference. Spiritual knowledge is what? The light that wins, that will chase away what? The darkness, aka ego. When you get knowledge, you're chasing away ignorance. When you turn on light, light takes over for darkness. They can't occupy the same space. So either you're ignorant or you're enlightened. Your choice. Dark is considered ignorance. Ignorant means you don't know. You can't see and you can't do anything in the dark. When the lights come on, when you have knowledge, you can see, do, and be whatever it is you want. You can't do much in the dark. So you can't grow in spirituality if you're ignorant of your spiritual self. Ra, the light of the world, aka the sun, S-U-N of God. Now the sun shines when it goes down in the west. We know it rises in the east. It goes 12 hours, and it's going to go into the underworld. For 12 hours, it's away from us. It's still shining. It's still bright. Okay, we just don't get to see it. Why? Because it's somewhere else. When it come back up, but the time where it is, it has to do what it needs to do. Conceptually, there's a story about the son who got to fight. Ra had to fight Apophis in the underworld for 12 hours. Another lesson, but that's the concept. Again, everybody has to carry their weight. Everybody has to do what they have to do in order for it to work. That's order. That's Maya. Watch this. Enlightenment is having knowledge of human. I was ignorant of my higher self. Okay, did that. Now, self-knowledge is what? The light that will chase away the darkness. That's where we are. Yeah, Ross did that. Right thing of philosophy gives you light, aka spiritual knowledge of self. Spiritually, you never in the dark. When you're spiritually enlightened, you're never in the dark. You're not ignorant of yourself any longer. So the light shines on inside you forever. Just let without being a Mason. The only song I knew spiritually or from a Bible concept was This Little Light of Mine. I made that my theme song for the rest of the time I was in Masonic Order. Everybody sung This Little Light of Mine. I'm going to let it shine. That means I have knowledge inside me. I'm going to bring it out conceptually. I taught that for years also. Different concept, but the same thing. Doing it now. Okay? The light is our heart. The darkness is our minds when it's unenlightened with knowledge. With spiritual knowledge, your mind become lightened, your heart illuminated, heart-mind coherence, you become synonymous, you have harmony, you are one with your higher self. You know yourself. Now, the way to win the holy war is to what? Become a right thinker and learn to know thyself. Self-mastery, aka knowing thyself. Gaining self-knowledge is how to win the holy war, right thinkers? Trust me, let's rock. Knowledge of self is the weapon that no weapon formed against shall prosper. Ignorance will never defeat knowledge. So good will always prevail over evil conceptually. With self-knowledge, you will win the holy war, win daily. That's right thinking philosophy goal, to continue to be enlightened, illuminate, and shine like the sun every day. It's a daily routine. You got to do it on a day-to-day basis, and you get good at it. It's a way of life. When you perform a selfless service daily, when you do what's right, that's how you win the holy war on a day-to-day basis. By doing what's right on a day-to-day basis, you earn your blessings and you're doing the right thing. That's a win-win for you. Right thinkers, you are winners. Where? In the holy war. By how? By living and doing the right thing when daily. Just taking to you. Last one. Again, I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you like the lesson. Hope you're learning. Again, this is all about learning. I don't give lessons to debate. I give them to learn, to give a lesson, a philosophical concept that you can learn and use. It ain't debatable. Last one. When you gain self-mastery and the right thinkers, that's your whole goal. Like me, first right thinking, like my first right thinking master. I got a student who's been rolling with me for 4 years diligently, and now he's a self-master, a right thinking philosophy master. Why? Because he learned the lessons, he implemented, and he became a master of himself. That's how I know what I do will work for you too. I got disciples to prove that. I got a lesson coming up, teacher-student relationship. Now, when you gain self-mastery, like my first right thinking master student, you will win the holy war, and you are in control of who? You. You are now Haru. Welcome to the club, my man. We need more. Keep working, right? Think of followers and become masters yourself. Let me know how it's working out for you. You know where I'm at. I'll be back.